Pelicans got the top pick in the NBA draft on Tuesday, but that doesn't guarantee Zion Williamson will be playing in New Orleans. Zion is expected to be the #1 pick, but ESPN reports that people around the NBA are talking about whether he'll threaten to go back to Duke. He can do that because he hasn't hired an agent yet, but his stepfather said this morning that Zion is excited about going to New Orleans, and returning to Duke is, quote, not something that we have even considered. So, Shannon, could you see Zion going back to school?
No, I don't. Because the thing is, Skip, there's the ping pong ball. Even if he went back, first of all, you can't. If Zion hadn't signed with an agent, Skip, he had gone, let's just say for the sake of argument, he's going to go 13th or something.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
How do you improve your draft stock over being the #1 overall pick? And the risk versus the reward. Some shoe company is about to hand this young man, here you go, son, $100 million.
Whew.
Yep.
So I'm going to turn that down to go back and play for Duke for free. Well, not really free, but you know what I'm talking about, Skip. Why? With the money that you see with DeAndre Ayton, so he'll probably get 10-15% increase over what Ayton got last year. Dude about to get 35-40 million guaranteed plus another 100 million from a shoe deal. Mm-hmm. Why would I even think about going back to Duke? And then again, Skip, there is no guarantee that if he went back, that he could get to the Knicks would be in position to get him, or the Lakers, or the Celtics, or he get an opportunity to go to some team that he really wants to play for. His father said I call him his father because I guess he's been there long enough. He's raised it. My grandfather used to tell me, son, you eat my food, you live in my roof, you my kid, you my son. So his dad said he's very happy to be in New Orleans.
Yep.
Now, maybe, I mean, what's he supposed to say? Hell no, we hate it here. Saying all the right things. But I do not see this as even a remote possibility. Why in the hell would I go back to Duke? Now, Skip, I love college. Love college, had a great time. You know, never in your life again you would have that much fun as the 4 years I had in college. Okay, 4 years in a semester. A quarter system back then. Never had that much fun again, Skip. Never, ever.
You must not have gone to class.
Needed extra time? Or?
What? I had with the class, Skip, I stayed in class. You know me, Skip. Front of the classroom. Front of the class. Calling on me.
Front row?
Teachers calling on me left and right. Mr. Sharp, do you know the answer? I sure do. But he doesn't. But that's not here nor there, Skip. Why would he go back to Duke and turn down a $100 million sneaker deal and probably another $40 million guaranteed from the Pelicans? Because what? To hope that the Knicks are terrible again and be in position to draft him? Hope the Lakers are terrible again? That's not going to happen. Braun won't let that happen on his watch. No. So this makes no sense to me. I mean, we're talking about it, but I don't even see this in the realm of probability.
And I do see it as a viable, credible threat because just a few days ago, Zion told Slam Magazine, and I'm going to read the quote. Zion said, I mean this 100% when I say it. If I could come back for a second year, meaning at Duke, and play, I would. Being at Duke was a dream come true for me. It was the best year of my life, to your point that you just made. And he continues, Zion, unfortunately, that's not the reality we live in. So he's saying in his heart of hearts, he would love to go back and play again.
Yes.
He missed a chunk of it when his shoe blew up and his foot blew up or whatever happened.
2 weeks.
Yeah. And yet, remember what I was saying, hey, young man, just shut it down.
Yes.
And no, he said, I want to be there for my guys, right? I want to play. And he came back and played and risked that much. So is it a viable, is it a...
The moment the season ended, the Cardinals had the #1 pick.
Okay.
The Knicks never had the #1 pick. They had a 14% chance of getting that.
I got it. But is there potential here for him to power play his way into a trade to, let's say, the Knicks? Sure there is. You'd need a viable threat. You need to say, I'll just go back to Duke then. If you're going to push me to the wall, I'll just go back and play for Duke for a year. Is it credible? I think it is credible. Does he seem like a kid with high character? He does, where his principles would be so strong where he'd say...
So you trying to tell the man to pull an Elway or Eli?
Okay, and I'm glad you brought those up because people do need to remember that way back in your sport, that there is real big precedence for this because just for those who forgot, your quarterback that you won 2 Super Bowls with, his father just said, you're not going to play for the Baltimore Colts. They're in Baltimore
at the time.
Because Frank Cush was the head coach, and he was a tyrant of a taskmaster. And Remember, John's father was a
Jack.
coach, Jack, and he just said, no, you're not going to play for that man. The weird part about it was that man lasted only one more year,
Right.
and then they only lasted one more year, and
Right.
they went to Indy.
Right.
So John Elway effectively could have been Peyton before Peyton in Indianapolis.
Correct.
If he'd just gone ahead and bitten the bullet and done.
Wow.
No way.
Okay, right? So they just say, no, we're not going to do that, and they force the trade, and it comes back that they get Chris Hinton and they got that Ron
Traded
Salt.
Mark Herman.
Yeah, and Mark Herman is a backup quarterback, but they got 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen
Right.
back, so not bad. But then the Eli deal in 2004, and I don't know, Archie, the father, has said again and again, I didn't have anything to do with this. It was Tom Condon, but it was mostly my son just wanted to play in New York.
Right.
And he thought it was a better fit with the Giants than it would have been for him with San Diego.
Let's just put it like this. Archie and A.J. Smith did not get along.
Okay.
That was very...
Whatever happened, it fell completely apart.
Yes.
And yet Eli, to his credit, he just said, I'm not going there.
Right.
And I didn't see what was wrong with I love San Diego. I mean,
Right.
it's a great place to live.
I think it had a lot to do with that he didn't want his 2 sons in the AFC.
Okay, you could certainly make that case. So they force a trade, and they trade 1 to the 4th pick, and they get Phillip Rivers. That's not a bad trade-off, right? And then they get Nate Kading, who became a Pro Bowl kicker, and they get our guy Sean Merriman.
got lights
Okay,
out.
all right.
Who's the defensive rookie of the year and the all-pro player.
That's a pretty good
deal, yeah.
right? And especially as you look back on the careers, even though Eli gave you 2 magical moments, right?
Yeah.
2 moments, but he's given you a lot of misery
Right.
too, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
Phillip Rivers just keeps on keeping on at a pretty high level, but he's never given you any magic moments.
Right.
But whatever, they pulled it off in your league, and your league is a tough league to pull something off in.
Right.
So could you do this if you really cared about it? Again, I told you yesterday, I don't have any issue with I like New Orleans. I love the city, and I think that they could turn the basketball team into the football team's fervor and emotion and love.
But what I need you to help me to understand, why would he even think about this if it's such a great place to play? Because you want Anthony Davis to stay.
Yeah.
So why would Zion even broach the subject of going somewhere else?
Well, I don't want Anthony Davis to stay. I just think he would want to. He should want to.
But you say Zion could possibly be contemplating going back to school.
Okay, I'm just saying there's a way out of this if you want.
But why
because
should there
of the
be a
power
way?
of the
Why
power.
should there be a way if New Orleans is such a great place to be?
Okay, I
And there
agree with that. I'm just saying this is the one kid who's got a way out of this. Usually you just don't. It's just too hard to force your way out. But he's got real power.
Yeah.
Right?
He does, but what I'm trying to get you to help me understand, New Orleans is this up-and-coming team.
Yep.
This is a great place to be. Why would that even cross his mind?
Well, maybe it hasn't, because according to his stepfather on a Baton Rouge radio station, it hasn't crossed his mind that they're looking. He said, we're looking forward to getting down there and getting settled.
Excited.
Okay? They're excited. So I agree. I'm just saying there is a viable option because he does love Duke.
2 years.
I don't think the kid would be miserable one more year at Duke. I don't. Would it be a risk? Sure it would. Yeah, we get that.
Normally, people don't take a $150
I
million
understand.
risk to play for a couple of $100,000 or whatever. They give him a pat on the back.
Okay.
You are not willing to assume those risks.
I saw Sam Bradford go back to University of Oklahoma to say, let's right the wrong and let's go win this thing. And it paid off for him. They didn't win. They fell apart, as you could predict, because it never seems to work better the second time around.
Or we see guys come back, Skip, for the Heisman Trophy, win it 1 year, never win it the second year, or they finish second, says, I want to come back, and they never get the fairy tale.
Sam Bradford survived, and he got $50 million guaranteed as the first overall pick.
Yeah.
So it worked out for him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it worked out.
See, I don't think Sam Bradford was still looking at it like, I don't want to go play with this team.
No, he wasn't. He just wanted to go stay with his. But there was a lot of Zion going on where I love my school. I want to be true to my school. He grew up in Oklahoma City. He wanted to go win a national championship. Yes. No, it didn't work out.
That's asking an awful lot, Skip. Especially, and even when Dominique did what he did, I mean, back in '82, and when Danny Ferry did what he did, I think that was '86. Skip, the money wasn't like it is now. This kid is about to be the biggest endorsee as a rookie since LeBron James.
All right.
$100 million.
Okay.
Off the top.
All right. I got it.
To go back to Duke, Skip, I love Duke. But trust me, what's he going back to play? Because Zion Williamson is farther away from his degree than when he went. We know Zion went to Duke to stay eligible to play basketball and go to the NBA. And had he not been forced to go to Duke, he'd went straight to the NBA. But those are the rules.
All right.
So what would he go back for? What did he hope to accomplish? The play that says, I don't want to go to New Orleans? And forego 150 mil? Nah.
You would just have to play chicken with David Griffin and just say, hey, if you don't trade me, I'm going back. And if you got pushed to the wall, you just have to go back.
2 to 3 years after he signs that first mega rookie deal, he'll be up out of there.
Okay, well, that's possible. But I'm also going to point this out. Everybody keeps saying it's the smallest media market in the NBA. Well, Oklahoma City is the third smallest, and they went to the NBA Finals. And
hold on, whoa. Yeah. Who they have? You told me they had who? You got to tell the people at home they had a 7-foot monster. And how close they came since he been
gone? They had a 6'3" monster a ball hogging monster too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He ate the basketball on occasion. They also had this guy named James Harden. I don't know what happened to him. He wound up in Houston.
The same thing that happened to him
Okay, that's true. But right now we're watching Milwaukee, and it looks like they got a real good chance to be in the NBA Finals, and they're the 4th smallest media market. And San Antonio's the 5th smallest media market, and they went to a whole lot of finals.
The only guy that I can remember that did this, that stayed in free agency as we know it, is Tim Duncan. Karl Malone staying in Utah wasn't the same because free agency wasn't like it is. Tim Duncan legitimately had a chance to leave.
He almost went to Orlando.
Right.
He just almost. It was real close.
So he's the when we say superstar franchise skip, he's the only guy that I can recall. Now maybe we can go back and say with somebody else. But normally even Kareem did this in the 70s. Skip.
He did. Yeah. He forced his way out of Milwaukee. Yeah.
It would be in the best interest of all parties.
Yeah.
Shaq, LeBron. It normally when the guys they get to that point, they want to go to a bigger market. That's just the way it is.
And one last quick point.
Sure.